All right, good afternoon or good morning, whatever time it is when you're watching this video. I just wanted to do a quick video about our 2023 Fantasy Football League, what it looks like, any changes I made, anything along those lines. First off, as always, the schedule has been set. It is using the same schedule we've used kind of the last few years, little tweak with the week 17 game now. So week 1 is based up on the matches from the final week of last year, so 1 versus 2, 3 versus 4, etc., as well as the teams who didn't make the playoffs, so 9 versus 10 and 11 versus 12. And then weeks 4 and 10 are 1 versus 12, 2 versus 11, 3 versus 10, etc. And then the last couple matchups are just really me just moving it all around within the system just to make sure that we play 3 teams twice and those rivalry weeks in weeks 1, 4, and 10 all work out. Next bit of business is the keepers. Keepers are due Sunday. I'll go back to Sunday since we had some complaints last year. So Sunday, August 27th. Please make sure they're in by end of day. I don't give any deadline or extensions. I don't add any on time. You literally have 3 months to get this put in. You can go in now and set them. You don't have to wait, but it's all can be done ahead of time. Don't wait till last minute. Set them ahead of time. Kind of get what you're thinking out there. Put it on the site, and then any changes you want to make on the last couple days, go ahead and do it. But I hate seeing people not having keepers when they want keepers. You have 3 months. There's no excuses. So there's that, as well as this year there are no players that were kept twice that are still on their rosters from last year. So everyone's available to be traded for during the pre-draft period. So no worries there. Go in, make some trades, have some fun. You know, it's all part of the fantasy football experience. Last bit of news based on last year's stuff was Dave finished in first place. Dave, or what's he this year? Winnipeg Bills Mafia. So he finished 5th, last place in the playoffs, allowing him to have the right to pick where he wants to draft in anywhere from spots 2 through 12. So he has until end of day on July the 1st to make his pick. If I don't hear anything by Canada Day, I'll leave the schedule as is, assuming Dave doesn't want any changes. But if he does, Dave, just let me know and I will go in there and do that. What else can we talk about? I did go into the settings, see if there was anything new, any changes we can make, maybe some fun stuff we could add. There really isn't anything new to Yahoo this year. Kind of getting disappointed. I've tried the Sleeper app for kind of some big fantasy football leagues, you know, ones with 5,000 people where it's all split down. It's a different app. It's kind of fun. It does pretty much all of what Yahoo does, but it does have some extra stuff. It looks a little cleaner. Yeah, Yahoo's just getting tired and old, but it's still a great one. It's still better than ESPN. I still like it better than CBS. I don't know what you guys do or play on, but Yahoo's still kind of, I don't know. It's not my favorite, but it's kind of second place now, which is cool. I like it. It has all our history. I think we're on year 17 this year. If I look at the trophy here, 17 season. Lots of different winners. There's still, I think, 1 team left who hasn't won. I think that's Dallas's team that's never won. I don't know about Tom's team, what your lineage was, but I know Dallas for sure hasn't won. But I can look into that another day. Other than that, yeah, not much going on. Summer OTAs are starting. We're gonna have mini camps. Then there'll be a nice break through July while we all enjoy the fun and sun, and then come August, players will start returning to camp, playing some preseason games, and then the draft. So, as I mentioned, keepers are due Sunday, August 27th by midnight, no excuses. The draft will take place on Tuesday the 29th. I kind of keep it that same week, just seems really convenient and it's never really be an issue for people. So it'll be 8 p.m. Manitoba time. And yeah, the one rule I did change this year, the last few years, we've added some IR spots because we've been dealing with COVID, last minute COVID, whatever. Doesn't sound like that should be an issue anymore. So I have reduced the IR spots back down to 1. We do have a bench of 6, so really there should be no excuses. If you want to bury a guy in the IR all season, that's cool. We're just we have a big enough bench. There's enough players out there to pick up. Our rosters do get, or sorry, the free agent pool does get pretty thin because of how deep our rosters are. So I don't want to have more people just hiding players in IR spots. I know Yahoo allows us to move players that are marked out into IR. Most other platforms don't allow that, but Yahoo does. So just leaving that as is, and then keeping it down to one IR spot. Another thing that other platforms allow that we can switch in Yahoo if people are interested is our bench players. Once they've started a game, finished a game, we're still allowed to drop those players. You can pick them up for a guy on Monday night, Sunday night, doesn't matter if they've played already, Yahoo allows you to drop them. I do see there is a setting where we can not allow that. So even if your bench player has already played, you can't drop him. I know that's what I mentioned Sleeper allows, which kind of makes it again tougher for people. But again, it's part of the strategy of fantasy football. Maybe you got to make your move early on Sunday with your bench players. But it does allow a little bit more flexibility to a little bit more unexperienced players who aren't quite involved. Allows them to drop a bench player for a Monday night player if they weren't quite on the ball. So I see the plus and minus of that, but I'll leave that for your guys' thoughts. If anybody wants to throw anything in the comment section on our app and go from there, that'd be great. The other thing that there's an option for on there this year, it might have been there before, is add players directly into your IR spot, which would allow you not to drop a player, to pick him up, then put him in the IR. This would allow you to just pick him off waivers and straight into the IR. Again, we have such deep benches. This forces people to drop players to pick up IR spots, creates player movement. Maybe you're forced to drop a guy you don't want to. All those decisions. So I don't really want to change that one either. I do like how that one is done. So I'm going to leave that the same too. Again, if I'm outvoted by, the 11 of you in our league, I will gladly change it. I have no problem. This is a democracy. This is all our leagues, not just my league. So trying to make it as fair for everybody as possible. And I believe that is it. Looking forward to it this year. All the fallout that happened of week 17 last year, with the game that started, that never finished, and the NHL team never played. Like I said, when it happened, I understand everybody's point of view, whether it's, the Evil Buddies, whether it's Ty, whether it's Dallas, Jeremy, in those money games. I get it. It sucks for those of you who should have won but didn't. I said, hey, I fully think you would have won. The only really way Dallas would have lost if Josh Allen got sacked, fumbled, injured, out for the game, and Case Keenum didn't throw any passes to Stephon Diggs for the rest of the game. So if that's the crazy thing that had to happen for him to, lose, if it was a played out game, then, that's what I mean. I feel bad. I feel terrible. It's just one of those decisions as commissioner you're forced to make. How can I predict an outcome of a game that never happened? How can I deem points on plays that never happened? How can I add points from another week when conditions are different, fields different, players are different, there's more injuries that may or may not have occurred? It's two totally different things, so it's not really fair to take points from a week in the future. I mean, heck, I could do that in week 13 would be awesome, and I could make the playoffs versus not making the playoffs. But we can't just do that in championship games either, because that's not fair to what would have been the loser, right? So it's a tough decision to make, and I made it. And I know, Ty, you were quite vocal about it, and that's cool. You have every right to be. But hey, I don't know what you guys want to do in the future. I still don't think any points should have been awarded to either guy, whether it's, Jay or Ty or Dallas or Jeremy. But what can you do? If the NFL is not going to make it count, then why should we make it count? So again, if you have more questions, comments, concerns on that stuff, throw it in our chat. We can go from there, which does remind me, there is no more message board on Yahoo anymore. So now it's just messages, and then I think they call it like an advanced chat or some little name they threw on it, on the app itself. So now on the app, it's just a chat. The same messages will pop up on the website as well as the app. And then I have pinned 3 messages on there that'll allow them to stay there. Again, that's everything about the schedule, day finishing 5th place, as well as the keepers. So once the draft is done, I will unpin those, and then we can just have the chat flow like normal. What else? Fab is still 125. I would like to see more trades. I offer tons. Some are, close. Could go either way. If you don't like it, then maybe counter. I don't know. I know there's a big bone of contention. There's lots of people in our league who don't reply to trades. They'll sit there for 4 or 5 days, no comments, no reject, no nothing. So hopefully we can be better as that as a league, because that is part of the experience of fantasy football. And with our deeper roster, trades mean a lot more than just picking up players off of kind of the thin waiver. So let's try and do more of that this year. I say that every year, but hey, what can you do? Closing on 11 minutes here, so I'll try and wrap this up. Yeah, not much else left to talk about. The league's up and running, the chat's going, information's all there, schedule's out. Draft order has been set, other than Dave figuring out where he wants to draft. So once I get that information from him, I will make the change. Keepers are due Sunday, August the 27th, so please get that in. I don't want to see or hear people saying they didn't know the date. It's Sunday, August 27th. So get your keepers in, put them in now. I got mine in now, put yours in now, and then go back and change them. Does it matter? No. It's not going to lock you in. It's not going to force you to do anything. You literally have until 11:58 Pacific time on Sunday, August 27th. So get her done. And then, as always, draft is on the Tuesday right afterwards, which is Tuesday, August the 29th, right before the long weekend. And the league starts the following week on the 7th of September, I believe. That is all. Let's get going, guys. Fantasy football's coming along. We are 3 months and a little bit to go. So, yeah, let's get going. Let's get ready. Fantasy football's starting. Listen to your podcast, get your apps, get whatever you use to help you try and win going, because it's getting closer and closer to time. We only got a few Sundays here left with no NFL. There's been lots of Sundays with XFL and USFL if you're watching those. I know the Clearys are, so I don't know about USFL though, but they do like their XFL. There's no Yahoo League for that yet, but maybe one day if there is, we can do that too. Yeah, get some mock drafts in there, kind of see how players are going. It's funny, I was doing a couple as soon as Yahoo allowed it, and everyone was up on wide receivers super early. You could get running backs good at the turn in the first, second round, and now that's completely shifted again. So running backs got moved to earlier round, and now receivers, probably because there's so many of them and it's a passing league. So yeah, I'm gonna get this wrapped up. So have fun, enjoy your summer, come back, get your keepers in. Dave, you got to make your pick. 3 months to go here, boys and Jen. So let's get going and have a great summer. Thanks. Talk to you later, guys. Bye.